everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nick, and welcome back to the 90s Guy channel. Today, I wanted to do a little bit of a mail haul. This isn't all from one day. This is from about the last couple weeks or so. And these are things that I wanted to share with you guys. They kind of range from all different types of things. And yes, I do get figures and movies and things like that, memorabilia. These are things that are kind of unique. You know, I'm always looking for things to add to my collection that are really unique items that either there's not a lot of, things that I've never seen before, things that are very nostalgic, things that really stand out and they're, conversation pieces. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So, for those who may or may not remember this, WrestleMania 15, they had a party beforehand in the city. They had the event. It was an event that you could go to. They had different musical guests. It was sponsored by Chef Boyardee. They had Isaac Hayes. They had Cherry Poppin' Daddies, and I don't remember the exact other groups that were there, but they had a lot of the wrestlers there. They cut promos. It was live on USA, and I remember watching it. And I recently found it on YouTube again. I was like, what was that show that The Undertaker came out in the middle of a giant crowd and cut this really cool promo? I couldn't remember what it was. And I typed in WrestleMania Party. Well, it came up as WrestleMania Rage Party. And I did some research. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And I rewatched it. It was interesting to say the least. It was very nostalgic, but also very kind of cringy at the same time. Needless to say, they didn't do this again. But I got a untorn ticket. The event was March 27th, 1999 at 8 o'clock. And the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Here's the WrestleMania Rage Party ticket. This wasn't even torn. So I don't know if they just didn't tear it at the door, or this person had just didn't go. I don't know. I bought this off eBay recently. The amount to go was $80. These were $80 tickets. These were apparently, whoever had this ticket got like a special box. But yeah, this is really cool to add to the collection. Next up is another WrestleMania 15 related thing. I saw this, and a lot of people might question why I got this. So this is a interesting clipping from when they had the pay-per-view advertised. This is from Comcast, and this is the WrestleMania 15 advertisement from the cable company. This is so cool. It has Undertaker, Mankind, Steve Austin, Triple H, and The Rock, sponsored by M&M's. And apparently the giveaway was a free pay-per-view exclusive limited first-time edition Undertaker comic. This is so cool. Because before, Peacock, the WWE Network, you had to order pay-per-view. And I remember in my town specifically, they gave you either a box to hook up to the back of your TV or like a little thing to screw in, like it was like a little metal tube that you would screw into the back and the coaxial. And eventually it evolved into, you could order it on your cable box. But, I mean, the pay-per-views were expensive. They were, $60, $70. So, having the pay-per-views every month for, only paying, $10, $11 for the Peacock network is pretty good. Next up, we got some autographs. We've got the Killer Bees. We've got... Ow! Have mercy! Dude Love. Beautiful auto. Another Dude Love with the tag team title when he was tag team champions with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got these autographs from a really good group on Facebook called Top Rope Collectibles. You should check them out. I got this. This was worn by Kurt Hawkins from Live 2000. Let's see if I can cover up it's got kind of a bad word in the middle of it, but it's a signed Live 2000 Major Wrestling Figure Podcast t-shirt worn by Kurt Hawkins. It's Star Wars themed. I also got. I told myself I'd never get into these loose. Like the signed ones were fine, but these I got recently. These are from the Pro Wrestling Crates. I got Tatanka Micro Brawler. I got the Ugandan Giant, Kamala. Got Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Jeff, JARRETT. I got Lex Luger. I got Adam Bomb. I got Viva la Raza, Eddie Guerrero. And the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart. These are really neat. And it's kind of a rabbit hole I've gone down, honestly. I also got this. This is the Chase Jeff Jarrett. And I also have the regular in package 2. I'd like to get them signed someday. Hopefully I can. Now, these are really, really cool. Those who follow AEW and Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, this is the pocket square from Smart Mark Sterling, ring worn, right on live TV. And also, I got the tie signed by him, by Smart Mark Sterling. Very, very cool. It's even got the tie clip. And this is kind of the main event of this haul. So, those who remember, on the 23rd of May in 1999, we had an unfortunate accident where Owen Hart fell to his death. And that event really hit me. I was a big fan of Owen Hart. I still, to this day, imagine what wrestling would be, if he was still here. It really, really hit me and still saddens me to this day that he died so young. Just horrible. I have 2 other ones of these, and these were put out by WWF Shop at the time, and the proceeds went to the Alberta Children's Hospital. All the proceeds went to these. So I don't know how many different variations there are of these. I have 2 others. I have the Tribute magazine. I have no idea how many they made of these, the different variations. But this is a Owen Hart tribute plaque. And it's got a New Japan card with it. It's got the 8x10. It's got the engraving. This is just an amazing thing. I can't wait to hang this up. In memory of Owen Hart, 1965 to 1999 World Wrestling Federation. Now, while I was a fan of Bret, I always thought Owen was better. I thought Owen should have been WWF champion. I think he should have had beaten Bret for the title. I don't know. To this day, there was a lot of wrestlers' deaths over the years that were very sad, of course. But, Owen was just so young, and he left behind an entire family. And it crushed me. I remember watching the event live on TV, and it was just what in the hell happened? And then they had the tribute, the next day, on Monday Night Raw, and it was just... I listened to the podcast that Jeff Jarrett does with Conrad Thompson, and they had talked about, what had happened and his feelings about it and everything, and him and, Jeff and Owen were very, very good friends. They were tag team partners. They were really good friends. And everybody who I've ever tell stories about him and just how he played jokes and was the highlight of the locker room and things, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. And it still hurts to this day that, like, what would wrestling be? If he was alive and, still with his family and stuff like that, would he have continued wrestling, uh, years later? I don't know. But, this was another piece that I wanted to add to my collection, to put on the wall with the other ones. And I just think, especially, I hope that this generation of wrestling fans goes back and watches how great he was. He was so ahead of his time. Just so ahead of his time. Like, I could just imagine the amount of knowledge that he could have passed on to this modern, companies and the wrestlers in them. The amount of skill and knowledge that he could pass on to the modern era would have been amazing. But thank you for tuning in. Give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all later.